Hello and welcome to the Rick Carroll Natatorium. I'm Sean Hagan and alongside of me is Kelly Riccardi. Today we will be seeing the North Penn Knights take on the Council Rock Indians. Kelly, what do you think about today's meet?
Well, of course, it's going to be a tough match versus Council Rock today, and as always, Rock will come prepared. But yet the North Penn's undefeated trek goes on this season as they prepare, hopefully, for a good match today. And they're still going strong, so I expect a very close meet and good swimming.
Okay, thanks, Kelly. Today, North Penn will be swimming in lanes 2, 4, and 6, and Council Rock will be swimming in lanes 1, 3, and 5. For all the events today, we will not be issuing Council Rock starters because we could not communicate with the Council Rock coach. The first event today will be the 200 medley relay. In lane 2 for North Penn, we have Rick Schillo, Dominic Szabo, Steve Greco, and Jonathan Fakish. In lane 4, we have Steve Fleming, Nick Fanslow, Brett Kratz, and Matt Gibson. In lane 6, we have Chuck McGee, Jeff Chang, Brandon Long, and Jake Taylor.
And the 200 medley relay consists of 4 swimmers, and each swimmer swims one stroke. They go in backstroke, breaststroke, free fly, and freestyle. The keys today will be good starts off the block, which it always is. Usually when you start like in a race like this, you want good starts. The whole relay is disqualified if a swimmer leaves early. If a swimmer on the block can see the hand touching the wall, then the start is slow, And the only part of the body that still needs to be on the block is the toenails. Therefore, the swimmer on the blocks wants to get their body moving before the swimmer in the water reaches the wall in order to have a fast start. It's kind of like track and field there, Sean, where in relays, the runner that is waiting the baton starts to run. They are permitted distance allowed in order to build momentum to carry them around the track. It's the same in swimming. The swimmer on the blocks wants to get their body moving before the swimmer in the water reaches the wall in order to help build momentum down the pool.
Okay, right now in lane 4 for North Penn, Steve Fleming out to an early lead. Rick Schillo in first place, Steve Fleming in second place, and Council Rock in third. Rick Schillo tags off to Dominic Szabo, who is in first for North Penn, but Steve Fleming takes it over in lane 4.
So far, Sean, we've seen good starts in 2 and 4 from North Penn, as well as in lane 6. But we're just going to have to see how this race ends. But so far, really good starts and really good turns, which is key.
Steve Fleming will tag off to Brett Kratz in lane 4. Right now, Brett Kratz in lane 4 leads it. Steve Greco in lane 2 and second. Right now, North Penn in first and second. Council Rock in third. And now Brett Kratz will tag off to Matt Gibson, who will swim the last leg of this event for North Penn. It's going to be a race between Jonathan Fakish and Matt Gibson in the freestyle. Looks like Matt Gibson should win it here. Jonathan Fakish is going to try to make a race out of it. Matt Gibson coming down to the line. And Matt Gibson wins it with a time of 1 minute, 41 seconds and 7/100 of a second. The team of Rick Schillo, Dominic Szabo, Steve Greco, and Jonathan Fakish come in second with a time of 1 minute, 42 seconds, 72/100 of a second. And Council Rock comes in third. And the final North Penn team comes in fourth. That's the team of Chuck McGee, Jeff Chang, Brandon Long, and Jake Taylor. So good race there for North Penn. They take first and second. Good way to start today's meet.
Yes, you always want to start out strong with a nice win like that, especially getting first and second. And if you also notice that all their starts and their turns were excellent and strong, which is what you want out of a good race.
Exactly. Next event will be the 200-yard freestyle in lane 2 for North Penn. Justin Fanslow. In lane 4 for North Penn, Chris Hutchins. And in lane 6, Pat Thompson. This is one of Chris Hutchins' strongest events, so I'm going to say we're going to have to look for him in lane 4.
Of course, Sean, in the 200 freestyle, is quite a long one, but not that long. It's 8 laps by one swimmer. You need to get good start, as always, and you need to pace yourself because you do have 8 laps. In high school, this is considered a distance event. However, in college, it is considered more of a sprint event, as you would run a 50-yard dash in track or something like that. It's more of a sprint race. In the college, there's the 1,000, which is 40 laps, or the 1650, which is 66 laps. That's considered the distance event in college. So let's see how North Penn and Council Rock do in this race.
Okay, the divers are set. Good start by all 6 swimmers. Still no clear-cut leader in the early going of this race. Here's Justin Fanslow and Chris Hutchins out to the early lead for North Penn. Right now, Council Rock in first, Chris Hutchins in second, and Justin Fanslow in third. It's a close race here in lanes 2, 3, and 4. Right now, all swimmers are pretty close. Looks like Council Rock has the edge right now. Justin Fanslow and Chris Hutchins in lanes 2 and 4, keeping it really close, though. There you see the times. Less than a second split in between there for all top 3 swimmers. Right now, Justin Fanslow losing a little bit of ground to Chris Hutchins and the Council Rock swimmer. Chris Hutchins is going to try to swim hard here. Coming down right now, Council Rock increases their lead to a little over 20 hundredths of a second, but Chris Hutchins making a strong run, try to take first over. Gonna be a close one down at the wire. Chris Hutchins is gonna have to swim a little stronger if he's gonna want to catch the Council Rock swimmer. It doesn't look like he's gonna do it, so Council Rock comes in first with a time of 1 minute, 49 seconds, 49 hundredths of a second. Chris Hutchins comes in second with just under a second difference behind the Council Rock swimmer. Justin Fanslow comes in third with a time of 1 minute, 54 seconds, and 53 hundredths of a second. And Pat Thompson comes in fourth for North Penn with a time of 1 minute, 54 seconds, and 58 hundredths of a second. There you see Council Rock swimmer who just won the 200-yard freestyle. So another good event for North Penn, taking first, second, and fourth. This is going to be any kind of a idea of what North Penn's going to do today. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good meet for them.
That was a strong race, especially considering it was a distance one. Starting out that early in the meet, it was a strong race by North Penn swimmers. Hopefully more to come.
Next event for North Penn and Council Rock will be the 200-yard individual medley. In lane 2 for North Penn, we have Steve Fleming. In lane 4, we have Dominic Szabo. And in lane 6, Brett Kratz. There you see Justin Fanslow and Chris Hutchins. They just swam for North Penn. And that's Brett Kratz in lane 6, getting ready to swim this 200 individual medley. Divers, or the swimmers, just about ready.
And in the 200 individual medley, this is 8 laps. One swimmer swims 4 different strokes in this order: butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle. Keys to this are always starts. Turns are also key, and breaststroke can make or break an individual medley swimmer. Some consider the individual medley races one of the harder events in the swimming due to the various muscle groups used during the race. So we're just going to have to wait and see for the breaststroke to see who can fare well in this event.
Okay, so for all you viewers out there, look for the third step in the swimming today. Right now, Matt Gibson and Rick Schillo out to a 1-2 position. Steve Fleming increasing his lead over Dominic Szabo in lane 2. Steve Fleming getting a lot more of a lead here on the backstroke. Here we go. I'll turn over to do the breaststroke, the crucial stroke that you were talking about earlier. Just a little over 2 seconds lead there for Steve Fleming.
And now the swimmers are really getting into the late in the race where they can't really use all their energy at once, but they need to save some, and that's why the breaststroke is so important, because it's one of the harder ones. And then you have to finish with one of the easier ones, which is freestyle, and you need to have some energy left for that. So these swimmers now who are almost finished their race, they have still 2 more laps to go, so anything can happen.
This looks like it was one of Dominic Szabo's stronger strokes. He's picked up about a second on Steve Fleming, and now it'll just be a race with the freestyle. Steve Fleming has about a second to pick up on Dominic Szabo, so this one should be a close one. Right now the swimmers are swimming almost identical to each other. Right now Brett Kratz is in third, and the winner will be Dominic Szabo in lane 4. He'll get a time of 1 minute, 58 seconds and 62 hundredths of a second. In lane 2, Steve Fleming with a time of 1 minute, 58 seconds, 96 hundredths of a second. So Steve Fleming loses by less than a second. So a good race there between Dominic and Steve of the North Penn team. North Penn Brett Kratz takes third with a time of 2 minutes and 11 seconds, 67 hundredths of a second. So North Penn with a sweep on the 200-yard individual medley. Definitely getting off to a good start in the first half of the meet against Council Rock.
It was definitely a good start. Council Rock has a very strong swim program. They're up there with North Penn, so it always comes down to North Penn or Council Rock. So, you know, this was going to be a very difficult meet, and they're handling it quite well.
Okay, the next event will be the 50-yard freestyle. The North Penn swimmers for this event are Matt Gibson in lane 2, Rick Schillo in lane 4, and Jonathan Fakish in lane 6. This one's going to be one of the shorter ones of the day.
Yeah, Sean, and we should mention that Derek Williams holds the record for this, and he's now attending the University of Minnesota, and he was also the state champion 1 year during this event. The 50 freestyle contains 2 laps by one swimmer. It's a short sprint race. They need to get right up and start swimming. Starts and turns are keys to this event, as always, and only 2 laps, so they don't need to take many breaths. Many good swimmers only take 5 to 6 breaths during this race, and none of these should occur from the flags at the end of the pools. So if you notice the flags there, no breath should occur there, and that can tell you where a good swimmer is. So as they start the race, let's see how they do.
Okay, we got a good start by all 6 swimmers. Looks like maybe Matt Gibson and Rick Schillo pulling out to the earlier one, too. Right now, a really tight race. Just a little bit left, and your winner's going to be Rick Schillo in lane 4 with a time of 22 seconds and 98 hundredths of a second. In lane 2 with a time of 23 seconds and 37 hundredths of a second is Matt Gibson for North Penn. And lane 3, Jonathan Fakish with a time of 23 seconds and 59 hundredths of a second finishes in 3rd place. So all 3 North Penn swimmers, they take 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and their times are less than a second apart. So good event for them once again.
Great job. There's nothing more you can say than just good, strong swimming.
Okay, we're going to take a short break. We'll come back to you with the diving competition today between the North Penn and Council Rock swim teams here on North Penn Television.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-CALL-EDF for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide. 1-800-CALL-EDF.
Welcome back to today's diving competition. Today we will only be seeing 4 divers. Today for North Penn, the first diver will be Michael Hendricks. He will be attempting a backward dive, a degree of difficulty 1.7. This will be the mandatory dive for all 4 divers today, so look for that dive to be performed as the first one in this first round of competition. Good layout dive there by Michael Hendricks. Scores for Michael Hendricks are 6 1/2, 6 and a 6. Good dive there by Michael Hendricks on his first dive. Next diver will be Steve Russell of Council Rock. He will also be performing a reverse back layout dive. Good dive there by Steve. His scores were 7 1/2, 6 1/2, and 7 1/2. So he does a little better than Michael Hendricks on his first dive. Ryan Hollenbach's dive will be another reverse back layout. Ryan Hollenbach preparing his dive. Good dive there by Ryan Hollenbach. He went into the water straight and had a little splash. Ryan's scores are 5 1/2, 7 and 6 1/2. Good dive there by Ryan for his first dive. Next diver will be Chuck Venuto of Council Rock. He will be attempting a reverse back 1.5 somersault dive, degree of difficulty 2.2. So this one's varying a little bit from the other divers. A little more difficult. Very good dive there by Chuck. He got the full 1.5 somersault in. Went in the water very good. Scores for Chuck's first dive are 7, 6 1/2, and 5 1/2. Next diver in first dive of the second round will be Michael Hendricks of North Penn. He'll be attempting a forward double somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty is 2.2.
And so far in the first round of diving, we've seen some excellent, strong dives and really good technique and everything.
And the diving judge is apparently walking over to the scorer's table. So either that was not the dive that Michael Hendricks was scheduled to do, or they said it wrong. I'm not really sure what the cause is right now, but for all we know, it is a forward double somersault dive in the tuck position. So if that changes, we'll let you know. Good dive there for all the divers in the first round, wouldn't you say, Kelly?
Yeah, they were very strong, nice technique, good entrance in the water, and that's what you want. You need good entrance, good technique. You need to hold your form, and we saw that by all 4 divers. So I have a feeling the scores do reflect some of the good dives. So
Okay.
I have a feeling it's going to be pretty strong, pretty close competition.
Yeah. There you see the diving judge walking back to his spot. And now he'll walk over and talk to Michael Hendricks. And
captains today for today's meet are Steve Fleming, Matt Gibson, who are swimmers, and Ryan Hollenbach, who's a diver, and you will see him perform his dive quite soon, actually. So they are the captains for North Penn. And our officials today are the starting ref is Pete Bunting, and two other referees are Barney Heller and Wayne Hellman. So they are the officials. And that's Pete Bunting there, who has been also the diving referee, and he's been discussing some things. We're not really sure what, but there seems to be a discrepancy of some sort or a little confusion. So that is Pete Bunting, who is trying to figure all that out. The diving coach for North Penn is Sue McDonald, so she's just done an excellent job with the divers this year.
yes,
This is her second year working with the divers, and they've just improved immensely as we continue with diving.
so Michael Hendricks will be performing the forward dive with 2 somersaults in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty on that is 2.2. So the judges must have just had a little bit of a difference there on what Michael Hendricks was actually going to be doing. Good dive there by Michael. He didn't exactly get his body as straight as he would have liked to going into the water, but overall pretty good dive. Scores are 6, 5, and 5. So good scores for the degree of difficulty there on Michael's second dive. Steve Reset of Council Rock's second dive will be dive 203. It's a back 1.5 somersault. Degree of difficulty 2.4. Good dive there by Steve. Had a little bit of a splash and went into the water a little crooked, but still has good scores. 5 1/2, 5 and 6. Next diver will be Ryan Hollenbach of North Penn. He'll be performing
Co-captain, we might add.
He'll be performing a forward 2.5 somersault dive in a tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.4. That'll be his highest degree of difficulty on today's dive. Very good dive there by Ryan. Gets an applause from the crowd. However, the judges don't really give him that high of scores. His scores were 6, 6 1/2, and 6 1/2. Next diver is Chuck Venuto. He will be attempting a forward 1.5 somersault with 1 twist. Degree of difficulty is 2.2 in the free position. Good dive there by Chuck. He got all his somersaults and twists in. His scores are 6 1/2, 7 and 8. So definitely the best dive of the day so far.
And as the divers completed their second round, you just saw a little bit of variety in there, but all strong dives. I was very impressed with all those dives. So let's see how they fare.
Here's Michael Hendricks of North Penn. His dive will be a reverse layout. Degree of difficulty is 1.8. Pretty good dive there by Mike. His scores are 6, 5 1/2, and 5 1/2. Next diver will be Steve Reset of Council Rock. He'll be attempting a forward dive with 1.5 somersaults and a half twist. Very good dive there by Steve. He got the 1.5 somersaults and the half twist in there. So great dive for that. Great dive there. Scores are 6, 7, and a 7. Next diver, Ryan Hollenbach. He'll be attempting a 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.2. Good dive there by Ryan. one of his harder dives. He got really good scores as well. 7, 7.5, and 7.5. To wrap up the third round of diving, we'll have Chuck Venuto. He'll be attempting a inward 1.5 somersault in the pike position, degree of difficulty 2.4. This will be only his third hardest dive of the day, so Chuck's definitely putting together the highest degree of difficulty today. So we'll see how he does. Very good dive there by Chuck again. He's had 3 really high scores. And that one also is a high score. His scores are 5.5, 6.5, and a 7. So all 4 divers still doing very well through 3 rounds of diving. Next diver will be Michael Hendricks of North Penn. He'll be attempting a forward half twist in the layout position. Degree of difficulty is 1.8. Not too challenging of a dive there by Mike. Scores for him are a little low. 4.5, 4.5, and 5. So not quite the scores he was looking for out of that dive. Next diver will be Steve Roussel. He'll be attempting a reverse 1.5 somersault. Degree of difficulty was 2.4. Very good dive there by Steve. Scores are 7.5, 6.5, and 6.5. Next North Penn diver will be Ryan Hollenbach. He'll be attempting a forward 1.5 somersault with a twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty is 2.2 on Ryan's 4th dive. Ryan's going to start with a walking approach. Good dive there. You saw he had a little too much momentum as he went into the water. His legs flipped over a little bit. He didn't go into the water quite as straight as he would like. Scores are 6.5, 7, and 7.5. Next diver for Council Rock is Chuck Venuto. He'll be attempting a reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. He'll be taking a walking start. The degree of difficulty is 2.3. High spring off the board there by Chuck. Gave him plenty of time to get the dive in. And his scores are 7, 6.5, and 6.5. Good dive there by Chuck. So Michael Hendricks will be starting the 5th round of competition with his hardest dive of the day. It'll be a backwards 1.5 somersault with half a twist in the free position. Degree of difficulty 2.1. Good dive there by Michael Hendricks. He went in the water a little off balance. Scores are 5, 4.5, and 4. Good dive there by Mike. Steve Russell of Council Rock will be attempting his 5th dive. It'll be an inward 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Degree of difficulty 2.4. Another good dive there by Steve. The 2 Council Rock divers are putting together some high scores. So Steve gets straight 7s on that dive. Really good dive for him. Next diver will be Ryan Hollenbach of North Penn. He will be attempting a reverse 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty is 2.3. Good spring off the board. Ryan didn't quite get all the way around there at the end. His scores aren't going to be quite as high as he'd like them to be. Ryan's scores are 5, 4.5, and 4. And the final dive in the 5th round will be performed by Chuck Venuto. He'll be attempting a reverse 2.5 somersault in the tuck position. Degree of difficulty 2.3. Or 3.0, I'm sorry. That's the highest degree of difficulty we'll see all day. So definitely look for this one. This will be a big dive here for him if he can get it off. Good air. Goes into the water pretty well. Let's check in on the scores. Judges don't give him that high of scores. He gets 6, 5, and 4 1/2. But the degree of difficulty will help his overall score out. And it'll be a pretty good dive there for him. Michael Hendricks will be attempting his last dive of the meet. He'll be doing an inward pike, degree of difficulty 1.5. Michael Hendricks' scores on that dive are 5 1/2, 5 1/2, and 4 1/2. So Michael Hendricks finishes his diving routine strong. Next diver for Council Rock will be Steve Roussel. He'll be attempting a forward 2.5 somersault in the tuck position, degree of difficulty 2.4. Again, he had a little too much momentum and his feet carried over. Pretty big splash on the end too for Steve. Steve had he had 2 5 1/2 and a 4 1/2. Good way for him to finish up his meet too. The last diver for North Penn will be Ryan Hollenbach. His sixth dive will be a backward 1.5 somersault in the pike position. Degree of difficulty is 2.4. Ryan Hollenbach preparing for his last dive. Very good dive there by Ryan to finish off his meet today. Scores for Ryan are 5 1/2, 5 and 4 1/2. So a good way for Ryan Hollenbach to end his meet here against Council Rock. Council Rock's last diver and the overall last diver of today's meet will be Chuck Venuto. He will be attempting a forward 2.5 somersault with degree of difficulty 2.6 in the pike position. Chuck's definitely put together the most complicated dives today and probably has gotten the best results. So right now I'm guessing that he'll be the winner in the diving competition. And another good dive there by Chuck. Dives there for Chuck are 6 1/2, 7 and 5 1/2. So Chuck Venuto finishes up strong here for Council Rock in the diving competition. Look for Chuck Venuto to probably win it with that last dive.
And you saw really strong dives by both North Penn and Council Rock, so that's why it'll make this competition so close. But really strong dives, outstanding competition, just great all around, great form. Everything was just wonderful. So we'll see how they do.
We're going to take our final break of today's telecast between the Council Rock Indians and the North Penn Knights. Come back and join us for the conclusion of the meet here on North Penn Television.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes, between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
Welcome back. The swimmers are just about prepared to swim the second half of today's meet. The next event will be the 100-meter fly. Right now in this meet, North Penn has a lead of 47-15 over Council Rock. Like I said, the next event will be the 100-meter fly. Swimming in lane 2 will be Justin Fanslow. Swimming in lane 4 will be Steve Greco, and swimming in lane 6 will be Jonathan Fakish. The diving results for today's meet: Chuck Venuto of Council Rock came in first. Steve Russell of Council Rock came in second. Ryan Hollenbach of North Penn came in third. And Michael Hendricks of North Penn came in fourth. So let's look forward to this 100-meter fly.
And in the 100-meter butterfly, four laps with one swimmer. The keys are to make sure that they control your kick. And most people see the kick down, but you also have to kick down, but you also need to kick up. And that kick up is just as important as the obvious kick down. Good streamline off the wall. You need to concentrate on your turn and give a good, strong kick into the next lap. Strength is not the most important component in this event, but proper form in the stroke of the butterfly is.
Right now in lane 4, Steve Greco, your leader. Everybody swimming a pretty close race. Right now, Steve Greco in first, Council Rock in second, and Nick Fanslow in third. So right now, North Penn has first, third, and fifth. Steve Greco still leading in lane 4. Council Rock in second, and Justin Fanslow in lane 2. Going to try to catch up and take over second place. And your winner is going to be Steve Greco in lane 4 with a time of 56 seconds and 42 hundredths of a second. In lane 2, Council Rock finishes second. In lane 2, Justin Fanslow with a time of 57 seconds and 34 hundredths of a second comes in third. And Jonathan Fakish in lane 6 comes in fourth with a time of 57 seconds and 78 hundredths of a second.
Actually, Justin Fanslow won that event in lane 4. I believe they switched up the lanes on us, but that was actually Justin Fanslow who won that event. So the next event will be 100 freestyle.
Okay, in lane 2 for North Penn, we'll have Nick Fanslow. In lane 4, we'll have Matt Gibson. In lane 6, we'll have Brett Kratz. So, yes, that's official. Justin Fanslow did win that last event, which was the 100-meter fly. So, thanks for confirming that, Kelly. Next event is the 100-yard freestyle, the 6th event. So, we're halfway through today's swim meet today here against Council Rock.
In lane 6, Steve Miller will be swimming in place of Brett Kratz. And keys to the 100-meter freestyle is it is a sprint event, and it consists of 4 laps of the freestyle stroke. The keys, as always, Sean, as I say, are the starts and the turns that make or break this event.
Right now, lanes 3 and 4 out to an early lead. Matt Gibson in lane 4. Right now, lane 3 of Council Rock is in first place. Or Matt Gibson's in first place, Council Rock's in second, and Nick Fanslow in lane 2 is in third. Now Council Rock is taking over first place. Matt Gibson in second, and Nick Fanslow in third in lane 2. This one's going to be a really close race down at the end for second and third spot. Council Rock's going to win it with a time of 49 seconds, 97 hundredths of a second. In lane 4, Matt Gibson clocks in with a time of 50 seconds and 66 hundredths of a second. Nick Fanslow comes in third with a time of 51 seconds and 55 hundredths of a second. And Steve Miller, or Council Rock, comes in fourth and fifth, and Steve Miller in lane 6 clocks in with a time of 55 seconds and 80 hundredths of a second. So pretty strong race there for North Penn again, increasing their overall lead. So the next event the longest event of the day, the 500-yard freestyle. In lane 2 for North Penn, we have Pat Thompson. In lane 4, Chris Hutchins. In lane 6, Carter Hayes. Look for Chris Hutchins to swim this one really strong. He's one of North Penn's strongest swimmers as far as endurance goes. He can swim really strong for a really long duration of time. So look for him in lane 4 to pull out to an early lead and keep that lead.
Well, in the 500 freestyle race, this is considered the distance event. Consists of 20 laps swimming the freestyle. At the end of the pool, you see another swimmer that has cards to keep track of the laps for the swimmer. After each lap, you can see the counters are shaking the cards vigorously, because after a few laps, you can easily lose track of where they are at. The up and down or pumping of the cards means that the swimmer is too slow and needs to pick up the pace. This is also considered a gun lap event. As the swimmer comes in for the last 2 laps, the ref will fire a gun to signal that 2 laps are to go. One race where you can see a strategy and interaction between coach and swimmer. Very keys to this race are pacing. You need to pace yourself and make sure that you have enough energy to start strong and just keep going and then finish nice and strong. And you also need to concentrate. You need to concentrate and think of where you are and have a strategy ready to go. So let's see how the North Penn and Council Rock swimmers do.
Okay. Definitely look for especially the don't get tired out before the final, because you could be leading coming into the last lap, and if you're too tired, someone can just blow right by you. So Chris Hutchins in lane 4 out to an early lead with the Council Rock swimmer in lane 3. Right now, it's really close in 3rd and 4th. A little too early in the race to tell, though. It's not too important yet. Chris Hutchins in 1st, a little under a second lead. Really close right there. Both swimmers touch the side of the pool at the same time, so they're swimming really close to each other.
And while we have some time here, Sean, let's give some quick facts about swimming. There's standard attire, suits, caps, and goggles, and everyone on the team must wear a team suit. A swimmer can actually be disqualified for not wearing the specific team suit. You may also be disqualified for things such as if you false start, if you roll over on your stomach during the breaststroke, if you miss a wall on the turn, which is a very important part, because if you miss the turn, it could be a big problem just because that helps you gain speed and everything. Touch pads are the width of the lane and are activated by a beep. Each swimmer is required to touch the touchpad at the end to signal the time and the finish of the race. The stripe on the bottom of the pool helps keep the swimmers in a straight line. That remembering, of course, the swimmer wants to keep as straight as possible. And the old rule you must remember that the shortest distance between 2 points, of course, is a straight line. The backstroke flags let the backstrokers know where the wall is. And the distances are all standard from pool to pool.
Okay, we still have a very close race in lanes 3 and 4. Council Rock swimmer and Chris Hutchins going back and forth in 1st and 2nd spot. Right now you see Chris Hutchins giving up a little bit of ground to him, but he's still got plenty of time left, so he's probably just conserving a little bit of energy here. Pat Thompson in lane 2 is in 3rd. He's not even in our screen because these two swimmers are just swimming such a great event. So right now, Council Rock still out to a lead. They have about a little over a 1 second lead on Chris Hutchins. There you see Justin Fanslow hitting the card hard on the pool, telling Chris Hutchins to swim harder. And it appears that Chris Hutchins is losing time to the Council Rock swimmer. He's about a 1.5 seconds behind first place time. So still not that big of a margin to worry about, but if he continues to lose time, it's going to hurt him when he comes down to the last couple laps. Right now, Council Rock in first, Chris Hutchins in second, Pat Thompson in third, and Carter Hayes in fourth.
But as always, Sean, in the 500-meter freestyle, anything is possible. So while Chris is losing time, anything's possible, and he still has plenty of time to gain back.
Definitely. He's staying pretty. He's actually picking up a little bit of time on the Council Rock swimmer right now. He's got a little more aggression in his stroke. Pat Thompson also swimming very strong in lane 2, not losing any time to the leaders in lanes 3 and 4. There's the times. He's back to about a 20 hundredths of a lead deficit. So really not that big of a difference yet. When the Council Rock swimmer in lane 3 comes back, you'll hear that gunshot symbolizing he only has 2 laps left. So Chris Hutchins is really going to have to pour it on here at the end if he's going to want to catch up. Council Rock swimmer has a little under 3 seconds of a lead on Chris Hutchins. So he's going to have to swim really strong here if he's going to want to catch him. And it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. So Council Rock in lane 3 comes in with a time of 5 minutes, 3 seconds, and 94 hundredths of a second. Chris Hutchins in lane 4 for North Penn comes in second with a time of 5 minutes, 8 seconds, and 50 hundredths of a second. Pat Thompson in lane 2 comes in with a time of 5 minutes, 16 seconds, and 54 hundredths of a second. And Council Rock comes in 4th, and Carter Hayes comes in 5th in lane 6 with a time of 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and 64 hundredths of a second. And we're still waiting for the swimmer in lane 1. He'll be finished right now. He'll clock in with his final time of 5 minutes, 43 seconds, and 71 hundredths of a second. So very close race there. No swimmers were left. We had under a minute difference in between 1st and 6th. So very strong race there by all 6 swimmers.
Yeah, it was an excellent race. Chris Hutchins was in it all the way till the end and just swam a really excellent race, and he should be very proud of himself. So next event is the 200 free relay.
In the 200 free relay in lane 2 for North Penn, we have the team of Rick Schilla leading it off. Matt Gibson and Jonathan Fakish going in the middle, and Brett Kratz finishing it off there. In lane 4, we have Justin Fanslow, Steve Greco, and Chris Hutchins. He just swam that 500 freestyle, so this will be a really hard event for him. And Pat Thompson finishing it up in lane 4. In lane 6 for North Penn, we have Steve Miller, Mike White, Matt Williams, and Joel Reiner finishing it up for North Penn in lane 6. So this one should be another really good event for North Penn. They have 12 of their strongest swimmers in there to swim this 200-yard free relay. This is event 8 of 12 events. Right now, North Penn still with the lead. Their score is 73-38 over Council Rock. So with 4 events left, doesn't look like they're going to lose unless they would somehow dramatically lose for the next 4 events.
But, Sean, as in sports, anything's possible, so we're just going to have to wait and see. But in this 200 free relay, there's 8 laps, 4 swimmers going 2 laps of freestyle, and the keys, as always, are starts and fast off the blocks. And you need plenty of speed in this race, because for you as a swimmer, just personally as they're racing, it's like a sprint event for them. So they need to get off really fast. They don't need to pace themselves. They just need to swim real fast, as fast as they possibly can, and just hope their teammates do the same.
Right now, Justin Fanslow in lane 4, out to an early lead, tagging off to Steve Greco. So North Penn has first, second, and 4th in the early going of the 200 free relay. Steve Greco swimming back. He'll tag off to Tag off to Chris Hutchins in lane 4. Right now, lane 4 is still your leader. Lane 3 in second, lane 2 in third, and lane 5 in fourth. The final swimmer in lane 4 will be Pat Thompson for North Penn. He's swimming really strong. However, Council Rock swimmer in lane 3 trying to make a race out of this one. Looks like Pat Thompson has just a little too bit of a lead. And the team in lane 4 from North Penn will win it. That team, Justin Fanslow, Steve Greco, Chris Hutchins, and Pat Thompson. In lane 2 for Council Rock, they came in with a time of 1 minute 33 seconds and 77 hundredths of a second. In lane 2, in third place, was the team of Rick Schillo, Matt Gibson, Jonathan Fakish, and Brett Kratz. Council Rock came in fourth with a time of 1 minute 42 seconds and 85 hundredths of a second. The team of Steve Miller, Mike White, Matt Williams, and Joel Reiner in lane 6 came in fifth for North Penn with a time of 1 minute 45 seconds and 26 hundredths of a second. So North Penn takes first, third, and fifth in the 200-yard free relay. So Council Rock trying to keep it close in these final events. Next event for North Penn and Council Rock will be the 100-yard backstroke. In lane 2 for North Penn is Steve Fleming. Lane 4 is Rick Schillo, and lane 6 is Andy Gabaselis.
And in the 100 backstroke, it is 4 laps, 1 swimmer. There are 2 kinds of starts. As you see the swimmers getting ready, you'll see them preparing either in the traditional start, which is in the water with the feet on the gutter and hands on the handles, or the stand-up start where they stand in the gutter as opposed to having most of their weight in the water. The keys on the start, look for a nice, long, streamlined kick under the water. Some might do a dolphin kick or like a butterfly kick on your back off of each wall and turn. Good shoulder and arm rotation. You also need straight arm strong as opposed to coming in with arm bent. And each swimmer wants to slice the water, almost like cutting water with a knife. If they're not doing that right, you'll hear almost like a slap of the water. And they want to do a strong crossover turn where they cross over onto their stomach and take one freestyle stroke and flip over. So look for all these keys in this event, and let's see how they do.
Right now, Steve Fleming and Rick Schillo in lane 2 and 4. Right now, Rick out to an early lead. Steve Fleming swimming hard with the Council Rock swimmer next to him in lane 3. Rick Schillo clocks in with a time of 25 seconds, 97 hundredths of a second in the first lap of the 100-yard backstroke. Rick Schillo increasing his lead. He's got a huge lead over the competition here. So Steve Fleming will win it with a time of 52 seconds, 64 hundredths of a second. That's Steve Fleming in lane 2 and Rick Schillo in lane 4. Rick Schillo's in lane 4 and Steve Fleming's in lane 4 and Rick Schillo is in lane 2.
There you go.
So Steve Fleming wins it in lane 4. And Council Rock comes in second. Council Rock comes in third. And Rick Schillo comes in fourth. Council Rock comes in fifth. And Andy Gabaselis comes in sixth.
That was a nice, strong race by Steve Fleming and a great job by all swimmers. So let's see. The next event will be the 100 breaststroke. And
the swimmers for the 100-yard breaststroke in lane 2, Dominic Szabo. Lane 4 is Justin Fanslow, and lane 6 is John Gallagher. Okay, Justin Fanslow will be swimming in lane 2, and Dominic Zabo will be swimming in lane 4.
And in the 100 breaststroke, it is 4 laps and 1 swimmer. Keys are starts and turns, and 1 stroke where there is a lot of technique involved. Pullouts are extremely important to this event. Most speed will be off the turn under the water. Good swimmers will hold the stroke under the water longer. You're allowed 1 pull and 1 kick underwater. As the race goes on, you can see that the better swimmers still hold their streamline off the turns. The breaststroke kick is like a whip kick. It is important that they come up, out, around, and together. The knees drop, ankles out, then around and together. And most of the power comes from when you squeeze your legs together and push the water behind you.
Right now you see Dominic Zabo in lane 4 with the lead. Let's watch for that streamline off the wall. Stays under the water, and he gets almost a quarter of the way out the length of the pool. So he's perfecting the streamline well in the breaststroke. Dominic Zabo will win it here in lane 4 with a time of 1 minute and 31 hundredths of a second. In lane 2, we have Justin Fanslow coming in with a time of 1 minute 5 seconds and 8 hundredths of a second. Council Rock comes in 3rd, and Andy Gabaselis of North Penn comes in with a time of 1 minute 7 seconds and 67 hundredths of a second. There you see Dominic Zabo there behind those North Penn flags. Your winner for the 100-yard breaststroke. Dominic's a senior. He swims a lot of the strokes here for North Penn. I think he swims somewhere between 3 and 4 events a meet. So
That was a nice, strong event, especially with the breaststroke. Breaststroke is quite a difficult stroke because there's so much technique involved and it's hard to gain speed. But Dominic Zabo proves to be one of the best, and certainly we'll see him at higher competitions such as districts and states. So,
yeah.
And the next race will be 400 freestyle relay.
In lane 2, we have Dominic Zabo, Steve Fleming, Justin Fanslow, and Nick Fanslow. In lane 4, we have Pat Thompson, Steve Greco, Chris Hutchins, and Steve Miller. In lane 6, we have Brennan Lodge, Justin Kratz, and Dave Schneider, and Todd Gibson. It appears that the team of Dominic Zabo, Steve Fleming, Justin Fanslow, and Nick Fanslow will be swimming in lane 4, and the team of Pat Thompson, Steve Greco, Chris Hutchins, and Steve Miller will be swimming in lane 1 or 2. So apparently I either copied that wrong or a miscommunication there, but team of Dominic Zabo, Steve Fleming, and Justin Fanslow and Nick Fanslow will be swimming in lane 4 for North Penn.
It could have possibly been a strategy, and that's one of the strategies, is to put the faster teams closer to each other so that it almost pushes each other. Because if you have almost a slow team next to a fast team, that could slow you up and not make you do your best time. So it couldn't have been of anything. It just may have been a coach's decision to switch something up.
That could be too.
And in the 400 freestyle relay, it is 4 swimmers swimming 4 laps of freestyle. Keys, of course, as I've been saying all day, is good starts, good quick starts. And you need good exchanges between each swimmer. So let's see how North Penn and Council Rock do in this final event.
Right now, lane 4 out to the lead. That's Justin Fanslow in lane 4. Right now, lane 4 your leader, lane 3 in 2nd, lane 2 in 3rd, and lane 5 in 4th. Justin Fanslow of North Penn in lane 4, swimming really hard.
And we should also mention today that North Penn Knights are still undefeated and hopefully will continue as they compete against Council Rock today. But also the coaches for North Penn are Coach Bill Bartle, and he swam here 1974 to 1977. And his assistant, Brian Fakish, who was a swimmer here at North Penn, just a swimmer from 1985 to 1989. So both of them have been heavily incorporated with both North Penn Aquatic Club and now with North Penn High School, and have just been involved in swimming all their life, it seems.
Yeah, they've contributed to North Penn so well with the swimming program here. Your leaders are now Steve Fleming in lane 4. Steve Greco in lane 2 is in third. So Steve Fleming will tag to Nick Fanslow, who will swim the third leg of this race for North Penn in lane 4.
And as we look at the scoreboard, we see the Rick Carroll Natatorium, and both coaches swam under the man Rick Carroll, the great legend here at North Penn. So that's also something to mention, that the newly dedicated Rick Carroll Natatorium has just been honored because of a great man in swimming.
Yeah, I believe it's been about a month since they've named it the Rick Carroll Natatorium, so it's still pretty new.
But it'll continue to live on
Yes,
as a
it will.
legend.
Yes, it will. Nick Fanslow will tag off to Dominic Zabo in lane 4. He'll be swimming the final leg of the 400-yard freestyle relay for North Penn. And Team 4 has just under a 2-second lead over Council Rock in lane 3. Dominic Zabo, one of North Penn's strongest swimmers. However, the swimmer of Council Rock in lane 3 swimming as hard as he can to try to catch Dominic Zabo. Keep in mind, Dominic Zabo just swam the 100 breaststroke, so he could be a little winded. Not looking that way right now. See the Council Rock swimmer picking up a little ground. It's really close. This one's definitely going to come down to the wire here. Both players neck and neck coming under the flags. And the winner is going to be Dominic Zabo by just over 30 hundredths of a second. Great swim there by Dominic Zabo and a member of Council Rock team in lane 3. So Dominic Zabo comes in first. Council Rock comes in second. The team of Dominic Zabo, Steve Fleming, Justin Fanslow, and Nick Fanslow come in first. Council Rock team in lane 3 come in second. Team of Pat Thompson, Steve Greco, Chris Houchins, and Steve Miller come in third. And Council Rock in lane 5 comes in fourth. Council Rock also comes in fifth, and the team of Brennan Lodge, Justin Kratz, Dave Schneider, and Todd Gibson come in sixth. So a good final meet there for North Penn.
And a great job by all swimmers in that final event. So that was just a nice strong race by both North Penn and Council Rock, especially at the end there, just pulling it out. But especially, as you said, Dominic Zabo could have been a little bit winded just having swam a very tough race. But didn't certainly show it that much. So as we wait for the scores.
That's definitely a great meet there for North Penn. You see, there's the swimmers of Council Rock getting out of the pool. They're going back to their sideline. So North Penn will win it 114 to 57 without the diving scores. So it's really not possible for Council Rock to pick up that many points in just a diving competition. So that's going to do it for today's telecast. The unofficial scores are North Penn 114, Council Rock 57. So North Penn remains undefeated in their swimming season. For Kelly Riccardi, I'm Sean Hagan. Thanks for watching us here on North Penn Television.